We hit open-ender to a straight flush here, multi-way, in a spot that it's pretty much Explo, as small blind is cold calling Explo, because as I told you, button is on the weaker side and he's trying to keep in his range also some hands. His range will contain at this point a lot of, let's say, he got sets, he could have some traps here when he checks. He knows that this is a card, this is a texture that connects a ton with my range. I could have a ton of 8x, could have 8-9s, sets, 2 pairs, combo draws, like the one I got here. So I expect him also to trap me sometimes here with some straight combinations. I decided here to check back because I got also the spades in my hand, so I'm not really scared of any river. Small sizing doesn't make smart sense here because it's double flush draw board. I'm gonna rep straight plus, so I'm gonna go with, you know, the big sizing 3/4, and we hit a straight flush here. And if somehow at this point our opponent got pocket sevens or our opponent have 8-9 of spades, which would be better, we're gonna get the jackpot. So I think jackpot is 140k if he somehow got 8-9 of spades. And we're in the tank for a massive pot potentially. Hello everyone, this is Captain Robo for CGC, and we're here today with another video. As I promised on the previous video, we're gonna do a footage review of Nl2000 today, which is a new game that GG introduced about 10 days ago. As many of you know, nowadays the VIP games like 25, 50 plus are exclusive. They're only, you can get inside those games only by invitation, which is something very difficult for any regular pretty much to do. So Nl2000 is the highest open game at this moment online for GG Poker, and we will try to test out the pool today. This is a session I did right some days ago, trying to navigate the pool and see what's going on. So the thing is, many regulars from 25-50 are gonna play at Nl20, and then regulars with, I would say, the highest bankroll and at the same time the better regulars are gonna also play Nl20, which is gonna make it one of the toughest formats online out there. So yeah, and another thing is that the rake is also very high. I don't have a big sample, but it should be around 7 big blinds per 100, which is insane if you consider that on WPN or PokerStars, the rake is 1 big blind in same stakes. So picking up the correct tables, it's very, very important in order to have a decent win rate in those games. So yeah, let's try to see how the games look like. I got a couple of big spots in that session that we're gonna review, and I'm gonna pause from time to time to explain my thought process. Yeah, so we play top left table. I'm gonna play for the most part 3 tables. I don't think I got a 4th table. We will see, as the action was not that high late nights where I mainly play. So yeah, we play a limp pot, top left table, where this guy is limping from MP. The guy on my right is completing. I check, and now it goes with check, and he bets on the flop. And we're gonna fold this hand. We don't have a spade in our hand. We got second pair with the weakest possible kicker. Yeah, he could have a bunch of stuff here. It's not a spot that we wanna continue facing a big sizing multi-way. Regardless if it's a limp pot, it's still like a 3/4 sizing multi-way in position, and we can be dead. So here on the second hand, bottom right table, we play against a regular, and this is a board where a couple of different strategies can play on. Some people are just range betting quarter this board, some people will play mixed strategy with a big sizing, some people will play, you know, pot bet strategy, 3/4 I've seen some people. So solver is gonna play something close to pot, and it's gonna mix it up. With this combo, we don't wanna bet if we play mixed strategy here, and pretty much I'm gonna pure check back this combo. The turn is gonna connect with his range, but as well as with our range, as we're gonna check back 5x for the most part on the flop. So here I'm gonna go with a small sizing, because I feel like people, when it's the turn pairs the flop and they check again, they're not gonna attack this line at all. We could check back easily here, but I feel that's a spot where people are gonna under check raise a ton over here. So I just try to make my life more simple, let's say, by betting with a small sizing, but check back would be fine as well. Now we get on the river, we hit the nuts pretty much here. He could have 10x of course, but it's not that likely because he would bet himself a lot of the times. His range is not gonna contain as well king x because he's gonna block bet king x for the most part. So he got some ace highs, pocket pairs, stuff like this. If we think about our range here, we could value bet of course king at this point. But yeah, we could value bet a 5, we could value bet a 10. So here with a 10, we want to size up. As you know, we unblock 5x, king x, he could have 6s, 7s, 8s, he could station down with ace high. So here we want to size up. I decided to go for a pot size bet over here, which I think is fine. Putting in a tough spot a big portion of his range. Of course, if he got somehow 5x, it's a snap call. 10x, you know, I don't think it makes any sense to. This is like a polar sizing. I'm not gonna ever bet pot bet with 5x and then call against the raise. So even if he got 10x, I think he's just gonna call. We got a twin hand. It's exactly the same. Now, top left table, we play a 3-bet pot against a recreational. He bets on the flop. We hope to hit something on the turn. He sizes up. That's a pretty easy hand. On the next hand, we got pocket fours on the cutoff. We're gonna pure open pocket fours over here. And we scoop the pot preflop. We open ace king offsuit here from the MP. And this is a hand which is mainly gonna 4-bet against a 3-bet. H6 offsuit, it's a fairly easy fold over here with this high rake structure. So here, yeah, as I told you, ace king off is gonna be a 4-bet for the most part, but if you can see, I got this RNG where low number is passive for me. Yeah, here I would go around like 1 out of 5 times. I'm just gonna call. And here, because of the fact that he goes exactly 3x, which gives me better price compared to if he goes 7 big blinds, it means that I have to 4-bet a bit less and then call a bit more. So yeah, here I'm gonna adjust and then probably I'm gonna do it 1 out of 4 times. And yeah, when I roll 21, it is in that range of 1 out of 4 times. I'm just gonna call here with ace king off. Pocket aces, we're gonna 3-bet of course. We hit a very, very good flop, and we also face a cold 4-bet from a recreational. So I got a read that this guy, he's 4-betting a lot actually. I've played with him a lot of times before. So I think it makes a lot of sense, especially when I roll low, to mix up some calls with pocket aces over here. Also, he's not putting a big sizing when it comes to his 4-betting range, which is fine. His sizing is fine, but imagine he goes 30, I would always shove over here because I don't think there is much of fold equity. But when he goes less than 20, and then I got this read, for sure we have to think about mixing up some calls here with pocket aces. Ace king offsuit here, I'm gonna go for the most part with a check raise here. It's one of the most premium hands in our range, other than pocket nines. Sizing wise, I'm gonna click the 50% button, which will go around 3x over here. Pocket aces, we're just gonna call. And yeah, we're just gonna go call. Of course, he could have kings, queens, but as well as ace king, he's a recreational, he could have whatever. So we're just gonna call down, especially having a diamond. We're not scared of diamond rivers. So yeah, we're gonna call. Ace king offsuit here. We're gonna keep on barreling. Half pot, 1/3. I think half pot makes more sense. As our range is pretty polar, we don't have king jack type of hands or even king queen. So we rep a stronger range. So yeah, I was thinking about going 1/3, but I think half pot makes more sense. Here we snap call. And we see how our play got the maximum out of his hand. He would fold pre-flop if we jam. And then probably he didn't even realize he gets counterfeit. He would be shocked when he saw that I scored with aces. But yeah, that's king queen off. It's not a hand that solver would approve to cold 4-bet pre-flop. We play against the same guy. When he cold calls from the small blind, his range is gonna be stronger compared to the big blind, but still it's gonna be fairly wide. Without the backdoor equity of the diamonds, we're gonna check back here. We hit a very good turn. I don't think there is a reason to raise over here. He could be also on tilt because of the previous hand, so we can keep a lot of his bluffs inside. And here we got an easy value bet, going 3/4. I don't think he got a jack over here, mainly targeting 9x. Yeah, he could have whatever, to be honest, at this point. Okay, queen 9 suited. It's in the range of the hands that we target. And yeah, it's very important to not just try to copy solver's theory, but also to think actively in many hands what makes sense. This is what I always say to my students. If you feel like something makes sense but it's not solver approved, just, do what you think it makes sense. Ace queen off is gonna be a pure 3-bet. We play 3-bet or fold button small blind. In general, from the small blind, we're gonna play 3-bet or fold. Big blind is a regular. We used to play also some high stakes. He called 4-bets on the bigger side actually, which might be a thing because we play a bit deeper, like 125. Normal sizing would be more like 23 big blinds. That's like super break-even call. I did consider folding here, but I roll at 82, so at some frequency I would call here, and I decided to just call this time, even though it's kind of questionable. Like with a low rake environment, that's a very, very easy call. Here, that's like super break even. And you see how I consider about folding. That's a flop where it doesn't really hit my range. Like we could have on pocket pairs, 5, 6, 6, 7 and stuff, but over pairs is such a big portion of his range. And we don't have these like jacks, queens, kings. I could have some traps with aces, pocket tens in low frequency. But yeah, his strategy should be to range bet here. I'm pretty sure he's not supposed to have checkbacks. Quarter range bet makes a lot of sense. My range will have a lot of 2 Broadway type of hands. He decides to check back, which again, I don't think it's a thing. When he checks backs, okay, he could have some traps like aces over here. Yeah, I don't know really here how his range looks like when he check backs in this flop. My instinct says that it's full of like ace kings, probably, because I would expect other hands to see bet on the flop. Yeah, here on the turn, if I had a diamond, I would have bet myself. But here also I roll very low, I roll at 9, I don't have a diamond. I'm gonna play more passive and try to go to the showdown with my hand. I don't think I really have that much showdown though. So if the river is like diamond or something like a bad card for his range, I'm gonna bluff. Also, I don't think he got anything, to be honest, here if he checks again. Because if he got aces, he would bet at this point, or if he got something like ace 10, he would go ahead and bet. The river is a jack, which yeah, at this point we're pretty far from GTO, so I don't know, he could have some, ace jack in his range. The thing is, what am I repping when I bet? Because I would go very wide on the turn when he's checkbacks on the flop. It's not like I rep too much stuff. Yeah, here I decided to give up and check. Sometimes I think we could chop with ace queen. Yeah, his range will have a lot of ace kings. I'm not super happy with my play, even though I don't think it's like a V loss in theory wise to check 3 times, but I think Explo I should have bet at some point, at least here on the river. But imagine I got ace jack, do I really want to jam? No. So even theory wise, what makes I don't have jacks, tens, if I have aces, do I want to jam on the river? I don't think I'm gonna get called from many war stuff. So yeah, small sizing is what makes sense in my eyes here on the river, if I wanna choose a sizing. Yeah, I thought about bluffing. Yeah, as I told you, I think this hand is kinda a mess. I think I should have folded pre-flop and then to bluff on the river. Yeah, I don't like. And with chop, yeah, I expected that sometimes I'm gonna have some showdown value, but by chopping with ace queens, I don't like villain's line as well. Let's see if we could get more action. On the next hand, we're gonna open king 10 offsuit from the MP. I'm gonna pure open this hand from middle position. Even from UTG, it's a frequency open. So here, flop strategy is gonna be like probably play with a small sizing here. Yeah, solver probably will mix small 1/3 and 3/4 if we're gonna, mix it up. This combo is fine. I don't hate my play. Also, we play here. It was a pretty, let's say, explo play as our opponent's on the weaker side, so I could pretty much play my hand and not my range. 5-5 deuce, I'm gonna start with a small sizing here and very easy call against a check raise. Even though it's a big sizing, still we can call one time. Now we're gonna fold, especially with the 4 of spades, blocking some of his potential bluffs, like 4-7, like 4-3, 4-6 of spades, stuff like this. We hit open ender to a straight flush here, multi-way, in a spot that it's pretty much explo, as small blind is cold calling explo, because as I told you, button is on the weaker side and he's trying to keep in his range also some hands. His range will contain at this point a lot of, let's say, he got sets, he could have some traps here when he checks. He knows that this is a card, this is a texture that connects a ton with my range. I could have a ton of 8x, could have 8-9s, sets, 2 pairs, combo draws, like the one I got here. So I expect him also to trap me sometimes here with some straight combinations. I decided here to check back because I got also the spades in my hand, so I'm not really scared of any river. Small sizing doesn't make much sense here because it's double flush draw board. I'm gonna rep straight plus, so I'm gonna go with, you know, the big sizing 3/4, and we hit a straight flush here. And if somehow at this point our opponent got pocket sevens, or our opponent have 8-9 of spades, which would be better, we're gonna get the jackpot. So I think jackpot is 140k if he somehow got 8-9 of spades. And we're in the tank for a massive pot potentially. But unfortunately he got nothing. He could have 8-9, it wouldn't be unreasonable to have even 7s or 8-9 of spades here. This was a sweat, I remember in the session. I don't think I got any other big spot or something. Yeah, we're gonna do again something. Yeah, this was it. We're gonna do in the future more like 2K. We'll try to play in the evening time where, you know, the action is gonna pop up more and put more tables, probably get more spots. Thank you very much guys for watching. This was Captain Robur for CGC. Good luck at the tables.